20 of the Lonely Knitter podcast. Today is Sunday the 30th of December 2018 and my name is Laura, otherwise known as the Lonely Knitter. Thanks if you're back and you've watched before and you're back. I'm appreciative. If you're a new viewer, I am just as much appreciative. Is that a sentence? Oh my gosh. I haven't filmed a proper podcast in quite a few weeks because I decided very last minute to do vlogmas. So none of this feels natural to me, none of this feels right or normal, and I'm a bit out of practice. So thank you so much if you've come over here to watch. I promise I'll try my best not to ramble. You can find me as The Lonely Knitter on Instagram, The Lonely Knitter 2 on Ravelry, and we do have a Lonely Knitter podcast Ravelry group, but it needs a bit more love from me. I have been ignoring it recently. I'll be back. If you have watched before, you may know that I am mum to a very rambunctious, almost 2-year-old little girl, and man, it's been Christmas. It's the craziest time of the year. We've been busy. Anyway, I better tell you what I'm wearing. Oh, already with the pauses. I'm trying to keep it shorter than normal. I am wearing my Payday pullover. I'm not going to get up. I have shown it before. It is a design by Sweater Freak Knits, and I knit it as a test knit a while ago. It is knit out of a wool acrylic blend. I do not find it scratchy. It was cheap. I was on a major budget. I'm not going to sit here and say that I love to knit from acrylic because I don't, but my budget does not always allow me to have the gorgeousness. I am on a kick this year, this new year, 2019. I will be saving and buying sweater quantities of hand-dyed yarn because I am wanting to get over the whole acrylic thing. It's probably going to be a lot of fingering weight because, again, budget. We're gonna do whatever we can to get there this year. Anyway, there's a few little things that have happened recently. For example, I've gone just over 500 followers on Instagram. That's pretty huge for me. I didn't really start using Instagram until May of 2018, and I don't really use it tons now. I'm not really 100% sure how it works most of the time. So I'm really chuffed and very grateful for the little community that I have sort of been sucked into over there, because I have met some wonderful, wonderful people, and I am incredibly grateful for the support that I've received and just the friendship that I have gained over there already. Anyway, this episode is not going to be a normal episode. This is a recap and a look forward for the new year. I am not going to sit here and say that I am going to do a new year, new me and all this. I'm going to try and show you guys a little bit more of who I am. I have watched a lot of vlogmases this year, and people like Jules of So Sweet Violet, I've watched hers and I find her so calming, and I love the way she talks. And every episode, every vlogmas day that I watched of hers, I left it thinking, oh, I want to be like Jules. I want to talk like her. I want to seem so nice. I'm not like that. I'm not that lovely. She's just lovely. But it did make me think a little bit about the person that I am, who I show on my podcast, and the fact that I don't really show the real me some of the time. I am, you might have seen quite a bit of it through my vlogmas. I got a little bit hairy there at one point. I got a little bit of an anxiety issue going on, and a little bits of me started to come out, I think, that you might not have seen before. So my idea in 2019 is that I am just going to try and relax in front of the camera, and as much as I can do, be me. We'll see. So, recap of 2018. I promise I will try and make this as, not as boring as it might seem right now. So we will have breaks for knitting stuff, yarny stuff. This is all knitting related because it's a knitting podcast, but we will have breaks. Anyway, so I'm going to start with my recap. I have my notes here if you see me looking down. Recap of 2018. So, started Instagram. Love it. It's fabulous. Started a podcast. I had done the odd haul video on YouTube, mainly to do with planner stuff because I love a bit of planner stuff, but I hadn't really done anything knitting wise and I'd always wanted to, so started the podcast. It was a slow start, but eventually got onto working a weekly show at one point, and we're still relatively new and I still don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm okay with that. I designed and sold my first pattern. During December, if you're watching my vlogmas, I wrote the pattern for scrappy fingerless mitts. They are called Show Us Your Scraps. And I put the pattern on Ravelry. I had some amazing test knitters. My yarn was from Jane of Family Tree Yarns. We did the advent calendar swap organised by Lay Family Yarn. Kelly at Lay Family Yarn had done the advent calendar swap. We were paired up. My yarn was so amazing because her hand dyed yarn is amazing, and I decided I wanted something to wear on my hands. So I knit up a pair of fingerless mitts called Show Us Your Scraps. And Kelly then test knit for me when I put out a little shout saying would anyone test knit. Kelly from Lay Family Yarn offered to test knit, and she did, and she massively helped me with rewriting my pattern in some places to make it what I wanted it to be. And then I put it up on Ravelry and some people have bought it. Not a ton of people, but enough people to make me feel like wow. So there is a little bit of money sitting in my PayPal account. It is staying there. I am not spending it until I find a yarny thing to spend on. It's not going on anything child related or boring. It is being saved for knitting, unless we have an emergency, because I am not that girl who's going to sit there and go, nah, you can't have the 40 quid in my PayPal account even though our boiler just broke. I'm not that person, I promise. But as much as I can help it, I'm going to be keeping it for yarny purchases. I have some major ideas. I also have more patterns in the works. So 2018 was the year that I wrote and knit up my second pattern. That one I haven't talked about much. I want to knit it again in another yarn, and then I will ask for test knitters. I'm holding back on that one just a little. Okay, those are most of my big things from 2018 knitting related. Then personal 2018, I got married. Yeah, proper grown up now, married and with a kid. I want to know the bit where you start feeling like a grown up. Anyway, so I got married and I kept a toddler alive for a whole year. Hopefully that'll carry on into 2019. It's not easy sometimes. We've had multiple A&E trips. Yarn break. I don't know what's going on, guys. It's been too long. This is a yarn break. We are having a break from the whole talky to look at yarn. This is something I got for Christmas. I hope you can see it sparkle because it is so pretty. This is from Family Tree Yarns, Jane at Family Tree Yarns, and this is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon and 5% silver stellina, 100 grams of A Christmas Carol in a fingering weight, and it is so gorgeous. So Jane and I were the swap for Lay Family Yarn. I got 24 amazing minis. Now this was a sock yarn scrap swap. Jane got my 5 gram sock yarn scraps, mix of commercial and hand dyed yarns. I got 24 10 gram amazing hand dyed minis with stitch markers, progress keeper extras and chocolate extras. And then this on Christmas Day. I did swap a present with her for Christmas Day, so she got something as well, but she got one of my Christmassy project bags that I'd sewn on my ancient sewing machine, and a commercial ball of sock yarn. Like I'm feeling shamed, man, because I've got this and she's got that. Anyway, so I'm hoping that I might be able to convince Jane to swap with me again next year. We'll see. I have big plans for next year, advent calendars wise. I want many. I want to swap. I want to get tons of sock yarn scraps going on. I don't know if that's going to happen. I want to save up and buy at least one. Again, budget demanding, like we'll see. But I would love to swap with some people out there, and Jane is one of those people. She can say no. It is okay, Jane, if you're watching this, you can say no. But I've already started gathering like Christmassy boxes and tins and little extras, because next year's going to be a little bit better. Anyway, so yarn break over. Okay, so next I wanted to talk about aims for 2019. These are not New Year's resolutions. If these things do not happen, I am not going to be crying. I have decided to be very kind to myself in 2019, and Clara Peggotty, Nikki, put on her Instagram that she was going to pick a word, and that really made me think about it, because I thought about picking a word previously and hadn't. My word for 2019 is going to be breathe, because I get anxious and overwhelmed and panic. I also then get sometimes quite cross and moody, and I think quite a lot of the time I need to take a breath and calm down before I let myself get overwhelmed. So that is what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and breathe a little more in 2019. If I don't, you know, if it doesn't happen, maybe it'll be 2020's word as well. I am going to try and talk a little bit more about mental health on my podcast. I watched a few podcasts that have spoken about theirs, podcasters who have spoken about theirs, and I found it so refreshing, and it made me feel a little bit less alone. If you have watched my vlogmas, you will have seen me start to get quite overwhelmed. It was the start of an anxiety attack. I have had anxiety attacks for quite a long time. They haven't been present that much recently, but I did go through a stage a few years ago where I was on antidepressants, where I quit my job, got myself out of a toxic environment and started an apprenticeship and retrained. I was on antidepressants for a few years, and when I have a panic attack, it is chest pains. It's on my right side, it starts, and it spreads across my whole chest, and I have chest pains, and then I feel like I can't breathe, and then I want to cry. And they can last anywhere. The longest I've had one probably lasted a couple of days, shortest 10-15 minutes. I have not had one in quite a long time. I am good at removing myself from situations and taking deep breaths, talking to certain people about my issues to stop it. So I want to, you know, be a bit more, I feel like quite a lot of the time we see things going on the internet and we think lives are perfect. My life is far from perfect, but I'm getting there in terms of working on making it the best it can be for me. Okay, next aim. I would like to make myself more of a hand knit wardrobe. At the moment, this is the only hand knit sweater I own. I have a flax that needs one sleeve. I have another one, I can't remember, I showed it in my vlogmas, that needs one short sleeve. That's bad. Both of those I'm sure I will love, but there are some amazing patterns out there that I would like to make. So tying into that, I am going to do the Make 9 challenge. Again, being kind to myself. If they don't happen, they don't happen. There are so many patterns out there that are absolutely amazing that I feel fine with dropping some of my Make 9s and picking up a different one, exchanging them out. I also would like to try and make 3 garments completely from indie dyed yarn. I feel like I knit a lot with cheap yarns because I like instant gratification, and I see a pattern and I'm like, oh, I want to knit it now, and I go and buy what I can afford with my money right there and then. The idea with me trying to design and sell patterns is that if I make any money, I want to put it back into this community by buying indie dyed yarn and some of the amazing sweater patterns and other patterns that I have seen out there that I would like to knit. So it's funding my hobby if it works. So yeah, 3 garments minimum I would like to make in 2019 from indie dyed yarn. And my Make 9 is completely sweaters. 2 of them are for Ellie, my toddler, but the other 7 are sweaters for me. So this one, my weekender, which I'll talk about in another episode. I'm not, because this is a recap and it'll get very, very long. But this one's 1 down. So that leaves me with 6 adult garments to make from Indie Dyed yarn, at least 3 of those. I can do it. I know I can do it. I'm going to do it. Okay, I would like to go to some events. I have picked, I think, Fibre East, because it's only 2.5 hours drive and I can do that on my own fine. I would love to go with someone else. I don't know anyone from around here who knits who would go with me. If you live near here and you want to go to Fibre East and you want someone to go with, please hit me up. I'm from Suffolk. Anyway, if you look on a map and you like type in most easterly point of England, that's where I am. Anyway, so I'm thinking Fibre East and I'm thinking Yarndale. I have family who are only an hour or so away from there, I think. I have looked it up, now I've forgotten, but an easy drive. So it'd be about 4 hours drive to get to my family, but I could stay there because they will have me. I'll just turn up. No, I won't, but no, they would have me. So it would be a relatively short drive. There in North Yorkshire, so it'd be fine. So Fibre East, Yarndale. Those are my 2 aims. I'm going to save up and I am going to go. Okay, next thing. To be more present with the online community that I have got into. I am loving the online community that I have sort of found a home in a little. I'm still very new to it. I still don't have tons of people that I follow. I'm always looking for more. I just started watching Caroline Dundonit and the Knitting Vicariously podcast because I saw her with Amy of Stranded when I was watching Amy's vlogmas, and like, so I'm constantly collecting all these people who are big names to everyone else, but I haven't got a clue. So I find someone like, oh, follow on Instagram, oh, you know, so if you are yarny and you like yarn, come find me because I want more friends on the online community. I want to comment on more things. I want to show a little bit more love because the love that has been shown to me has been pretty amazing. Okay, last one for aims for 2019. I have some ideas, design ideas. My fingerless mitts was one. I knit a little tiny Santa hat as a tree decoration and posted the pattern to Instagram. I was thinking I might write that up on an actual A4 PDF and offer it as a free pattern on Ravelry. And then I have like 4 other ideas definitely, and a few other maybes for designs. So my aim for 2019 is to take all of the designs that I have in my head right now, and some of which I've written down, and try them out, see if they'd work as a design and if anyone would want it. We'll see. If I end up just trying them out and then think, no, I'm not posting any of them online at all, that's fine too. Just try them out. Yarn break. Anyway, yarn break. My next, this is a thing that I got in December. I went to Norwich, I think it's Norwich Creative Makers Market or Norwich Makers Market. It's the closest city to me, Norwich, and I went on the hunt for noodle soup yarns. Charlie was lovely, and I did a little review when I got my things in December on my vlogmas, but I thought I would just show you some of the things I got in case you're not watching vlogmas. So I've lost the ball band for this already, but here is her logo. Noodle Soup Yarns. She has a website and it will be in the show notes below on YouTube. I'm going to make an effort with show notes. We'll see how long that lasts. This one, Inky Tincture, is so gorgeous. It is in her MCN Luxe base and it is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere and 10% nylon, and it is squishy squishy. So these gorgeous, gorgeous colours. This is one of the ones I got. This one is Zombie Snow Day. She gifted me this. Flabbergasted. What's going on with this? And it is beautiful. This was shown on the Grocery Girls. claim to fame. I have the same yarn as Tracy and Jodie. So, yay. And then I got this minis because she had a mini bin. Mini. And they are so lovely. So, I got another one as well. It was in the colourway Death Metal and it is amazing, but I have knit it up into a design. I'm going to talk about that next week. We're going to leave that out for now. Also, I want to knit that design in a plain yarn as well, so you can really see the stitch pattern. I think it works perfectly in Death Metal, but I think there needs to be another one made up so people can 100% see what they're getting. We'll see. I'm going to wait until I've done that. Anyway, yarn break over. So, in the spirit of my Make 9 challenge and my whole aim of 2019 to do more sweaters, more garments and have a hand knit wardrobe by the end of next year, I have a list for Make 9 challenge to share with you. First one I have already cast on. If I finish it in 2019 it counts for me. I don't have to cast it on in 2019. But this is my first one and I'm taking part in the hashtag 16 weeks of Weekender knit along. So yeah, hashtag 16 weeks of Weekender and we're getting there. This is The Weekender by Andrea Mowry. And I'm loving it so far. Chugging through the body, it's getting there. I think I'm 2 inches away from the first 15 inches. I might knit it a little bit longer because I like my sweaters a bit longer, but we'll see. Okay, so the next one on my list, I have the yarn for, and I think I've shown it on the podcast, but I might be wrong. I've definitely shown it on Vlogmas though. But that I have yarn from Suffolk Socks, lovely Julie at Suffolk Socks, and that is for the Tegna by Caitlin Hunter. I might be getting that name wrong. I feel like Tegna is not right. I'm sure I heard someone else say Tanya. If someone told me that would be great, but otherwise we'll carry on with Tegna until someone does and I'll just sound stupid. Next I have The Floozy by Libby Johnson. Now I have cast this on, I have worked to about here, split for the sleeves, carried on, finished the colour work. It got left behind. Fingering weight, I got bored. I'm a big girl and like fingering weight sweaters, it's a lot of work for the big sizes. I'm going to get over that in 2019 because I want to knit quite a few hand-dyed sweaters and I need to knit them in fingering weight because I'm poor. Next we have the Campside Cardi. I've had this pattern for a little while. It's by Alicia Plummer. Alicia? I hope I'm not butchering that. I know someone who says Alicia, but it is spelled Alicia. We're going with Alicia. I've had that pattern for a while. I want to knit it. I need more cardies. I'm not sure. That one might get substituted. Not because it's nothing but beautiful, because it's lovely, but because I keep seeing other things and I kind of am one of those people that wants to cast on everything the second I see it. We'll see. Next we have The Worsted Boxy by Joji Locatelli. Now the Worsted Boxy might get traded out because since I made my Make 9 thumbnails and posted them to Instagram, I've been thinking about a fingering weight boxy because I could do it again. Hand-dyed yarn, could I swing it? So we'll see. It might end up being a standard normal boxy. Next I have Strange Brew. I am going to make a Strange Brew for me and for Ellie. Maybe matching, maybe not. We'll see. I just know I want to make one. So from Tin Can Knits, Strange Brew. Next we have the Garden Gnome Hoodie by Mina Phillip, the Knitting Expat. I've had this pattern for a little while. I want to knit it. Ellie needs a hoodie. It's cute. Every time I see that picture of her little girl Layla in that hoodie, I'm like, Ellie needs it. So, Garden Gnome Hoodie. Next we have Sunset Highway by Caitlin Hunter. I love this jumper. Oh my gosh, it is a beautiful jumper. I mean, they are all beautiful jumpers, but this is a beautiful jumper. I love it. So that's on the list. Again, hand-eye yarn. We'll see. Finger mate. Yarn break. Well, actually not yarn break, but I was just really enjoying saying that. This is really a book break. These are the like crafty books that I got this Christmas, and I thought I would share them. Start with this one. It is not knitting related. It is A Year in Crafts, 52 Seasonal Projects to Delight and Inspire by Claire Youngs. I got this yesterday. In our little group of friends, we did a little secret Santa, we always do. And I got this. And I'm really chuffed. I feel like my friends really know me. So I've flicked through this book, but I haven't had a proper read. But it has sections for the months of the year and a pattern, like an idea for every week. Most of them are just simple instructions, so I think I could make most of them. None of them are knitting as far as I can see, but there's just loads of really fun little things like woodland keychains and just really fun little things. So I think this will be pulled out a few times in the year to maybe make the odd little gift or fun little craft with my daughter. And my next one is knitting related, as is my last one. These last two are knitting related. This one is Strange Brew. I'm so excited to have this. So I told my husband that I really wanted this. He said, what do you want for Christmas? I said, I really want this book. He promptly forgot. He forgets everything I tell him, but I kind of forget everything he tells me as well, so works both ways. But he asked again, we had a conversation about it, and he got me to actually send him a link. So I got Strange Brew. I am so chuffed. It is a beautiful book. I cannot wait to knit out of it. It's so beautiful. Oh, just look at the back. Anyway, so the aim is that me and Ellie will both get a Strange Brew sweater this year. I think my make 9 might be a little unachievable. 9 sweaters in a year with a toddler. We'll see. But Strange Brew, I want it to happen. The other book I got is not a pattern book. It's a planner. I asked my mum and dad for this. My mum asked me what I would like, and I asked for the Strick Planner. It's the planner, but it's made by Martina Behm or Martina Beam. I don't know if I'm saying that right either. Corrections would be lovely. So Strick Planner, your knitting planner, mine, 2019. It's really pretty. There are flick-throughs on her website, which I had a lot of looks through before I bought it or chose it and said to my parents that I would like it, and you can go there to look at it. I'm not going to show you all the pages, but there are a few little things that I love, like the needle conversions in the back page and like ruler down the side of the back page, and little things like that. There are some brilliant pages. I used to have, or I still have it somewhere, but I don't really use it. I used to use a bullet journal. It has pages that are dot grid. It has pages that are squared paper. It has everything. I've already started filling bits out, but this is going to be the book that comes everywhere with me this year, because I'm going to use it as my day-to-day planner, as well as obviously my knitting planner. Trying to simplify planning, because I've gone through stages of having every planner under the sun, and really I just need one that can encompass everything. So this is it. Okay, so my last little segment from today is going to be about what I'm craving. So there are a few things that are on my list to get this year. One of them is to try Stranded Dye Works yarn. So Amy of Stranded Dye Works, I would really like to try, I'd like to buy a couple of skeins of fingering weight yarn to go towards a sweater that I want to make. I'm thinking the Sipilla by Caitlin Hunter. I really like it, and I have like the contrasting colour. I'm just thinking if I could get a grey from Amy. She does grey well, by what I've seen. So I'm craving a little bit of that. I have a skein of Lay Family yarn, sock weight yarn, 4-ply yarn that I really want to use as well, so that I'm craving to ball up. I really desperately need a new Swift. I think I found the one I want. It is an Amish style Swift, and I'm pretty sure I know where I want to order it from as well, but I'm just waiting. I might save up just a little bit, just wait until next month. If throughout this podcast this has been bothering you, this is my daughter's little Tykes car. It lives here. I couldn't move it, it wouldn't, there's no space. Okay, I would also really like to try a Madelinetosh yarn. I did have someone offer to grant my yarn wish, and she took all my details to post me some. She had some in an Aran weight for me to try, and I thought, well, I just want to try it. Unfortunately, it hasn't arrived. She was sending it from another country, and maybe something's gone wrong with the postage. Maybe she just didn't get a chance to send it. It is a yarn wish is granted. You can't be ungrateful if things don't turn up. I'm okay with it. I got tons of other things in yarn wishes granted, and I sent out loads of things and I made friends. So that's what really matters. But this year I would quite like to try Madelinetosh yarn, so I might be scanning the D-stashes on Ravelry and see what I can find. Colourwork. Well, I've been watching Dundonit, Knitting Vicariously Caroline, and now I want to cast on all the things. And she has some amazing sweaters. Every podcast, because I've been like binge watching, and every time I turn her on she has another amazing sweater on, and I'm like, man, sweater goals right there. So colourwork sweaters, I'm craving them big time. This is like a long haul slog of just knitting, reverse stockinette forever and a day. And so right now I'm really craving fingering weight yarns. I really want to do colourwork. I really want to do a sweater. Yeah, loads of things, all the things. I'm craving all the things. Anyway, so I think that might be everything for today. If you have got all the way through this, I am very grateful. I am going to make an effort to edit. I have been recording in clips. I'm going to mishmash them together. I'm going to do my best to put pictures in of projects and just attempt to make this podcast a little bit better, because I do really, really value the fact that people are willing to spend a little time with me. I know that people's time is precious. My time I feel is precious, and I appreciate you. So maybe I should make a bit more of an effort. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna put makeup on, because that might be going too far, but maybe in 2019 that might be an aim, that at some point you might see this face with some mascara on it. We'll see. That would be a whole lot of work. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And as always, you're making me a lot less of a lonely knitter.